This is all very difficult for me to really talk about because when you think about the way the world has changed in recent years, to tell you that someone is not able to go to a public library because they are the wrong color of skin seems to be something totally unbelievable. But it did in fact happen, and it is a part of my history. During the 60s, in the civil rights movement in Louisiana, I was a science student, and I was studying this particular fish for the science fair. And the little small library that we had in the black community wasn't very big, and we were not allowed as black people to go to the main library where I could get research material. Subsequently, I waited until it transpired that the government of the United States passed a desegregation law that enabled me to go to the library. And I'm sure I was the first black person to ever go into this library. But before I went, I called and told them that I was coming. And I know that sounds odd, but I didn't want my grandmother to get into any trouble or difficulty because she worked for the sheriff as a cook. And I called the library, and I asked them if it would be okay. They said, well, the law has changed, and of course you can come. And when I got there, the first thing I remember, and you have to understand I was just a kid, I remember these great big huge doors. And I opened the doors and went in, and the one thing I remember more than anything else was the eyes of the people who were there. They were not welcoming eyes. They were the eyes of people who hated me and didn't want me in this space. I went in, I found the reference material that I needed, took down the information that I needed, and when you think of this kind of thing, as a young boy, it scarred me and made me super sensitive to the notion of racism in Western civilization. It was my first experience in what I call the white man's world.